Ladies and gentlemen. Well, that just happened. We got some rust. We're going to brush this off. It's been 3 weeks. Jesus.
I didn't know we were starting.
Wow.
Because we all just went like, what?
All right, let's try this one more time. Ladies and
That's a good
gentlemen.
opening.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right.
Can I start?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome to the Everything and Nothing Show. I'm just one of your hosts with the mostest, Clayton Kisko, and I'm accompanied, of course, by the rest of the Maelstrom Gamers. With us on this podcast, we have the bad boy, Steven Landis. What you gonna do? Something for you. So if it goes above 10 seconds, we get
That wasn't
sued
10 seconds.
and our house
That
gets taken
literally-
from us. No, that was really good. But
was
I found out
actually
that it is 10 seconds.
5 seconds.
That's really good.
9. It wasn't even 9 seconds, actually.
Steve, you're looking good. It looks wonderful over wherever you're from, Hurricane Land.
Yep, beautiful hurricane.
Yeah, it looks terrifying.
It's chilly outside. It's like 80.
Yeah.
Well, it is the end of October. I'd hope it would be starting to get lower
Yeah.
temperature.
This will probably be the only cold front.
Yeah.
Like the entire year. So.
It's ridiculous. Well, it's good to have you back. And last, but certainly not least, the artist formerly known as the Enigma. We have the wild card, Ian Kane.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up,
It's good
Ian?
to be back.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
So for those of you who don't know, we have been on a hiatus for the last 3 weeks. This is going to roll right into our first topic because basically my computer went down, and I'm the guy who's editing and streaming this stuff. And when my computer went down, pretty much the whole thing just collapsed. So, but I got a new computer, and that's why. So this is what the first topic is going to be. We've had so many issues which caused us to be down for 3 weeks. I wanted to share this story with you, and I was curious if you guys had any other stories of computers just being just stupid, or just having like a nightmare computer story, right? The situation that happened with this is that I was trying to upgrade my computer, right? My computer was like something like 7 years old, if you can imagine that. So I got a desktop back in 2009. And it's lasted this long and been able to play games. Like, I haven't updated it at all. Maybe actually that's not true. I've updated like the hard drive space, but that's it. So the graphics card is original, the motherboard is original, the heatsink is original. 7 years, like, to me that's unheard of. And it was one of those right. It's one of those things where you look at like in your basement and you're like foundations cracking. You're like, oh boy, we need to upgrade this shit like real quick. And like I was just kept looking at this computer, being like, it's any moment that this stuff is just gonna fail. So I had to upgrade, right? And Steve,
well, knowing your luck, it would fail right in the middle of a league match.
Yeah.
Yes. So I didn't want that to happen, and I knew and ironically, I didn't want us to go on a hiatus for 3 weeks. So I was trying to get ahead of it. Bought a new computer, all great new i7 Intel 1080 ATX.
Oh yeah, keep going.
Right?
Yeah,
just
that's what I got.
What else you
sweet
got?
deliciousness in your ear. So Ian, what you have?
What kind of graphics card?
1080. I told you that. You have a 1080?
Yeah.
When did you get one?
I bought mine 4 years ago. It's the HP i7 liquid cooled.
Steve, you want to take this one, or
stuff.
you want me to take this one?
What?
You bought your 1080 4 years ago?
Well, no, I don't know if it's a 1080. Just saying, is that the actual computer number? I'm not a computer building guy.
Did you invite this guy?
No. He's talking about the graphics card itself.
Oh,
not
okay,
the
yeah.
Computer. Not the
No,
computer.
but you said the same computer though, so I was like, oh, that's what I
I
got.
just give you a really hard time. I'm being an asshole. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
No, yeah. So 1080 just came out like this last year.
Okay. Cool.
And they're like,
But it's an HP.
No, it's not an HP computer. No.
It's custom built.
Oh.
So
okay.
So what I did is I bought and then here's the other thing is that I used to call this thing the tumbler because it was just ginormous. I sent you guys a picture of my old computer. It's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was like 3 feet high and 3 feet long and about a foot wide. And then I went down to a tiny ATX, which is about the size of an Xbox One or a PS4, right?
Nice.
So I got they call them mini ATX motherboards. So the motherboard's really tiny. I got one of those. Got the new Intel chip, which I think you have. You use what you're saying, the i7.
Yeah.
And then you get the heatsink. It's really simple. You get that stuff, and then you get your graphics card, and then you get your power supply, right? Which powers
I'm just
everything.
surprised. I'm just really surprised that tiny thing can stay so cool.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like,
so here's the ingenious of it. The case that I got is the way that it's structured. I'll try to visually show this. Is that there are pretend like it's basically built like this, and the graphics card goes on the inside here, and then the power supply and the motherboard go below it in a separate container here, and they blow out air away from each other.
Oh, away from each other.
Yeah,
okay,
and
cool.
out,
Cool.
and
All
then
right.
up. And so
I see how that works.
yeah, and so because they're contained in their own separate compartments, they blow out the air on their own. There's no case fans in this. It's a Silverstone.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's still Silverstone RVZ 10B, I believe. So yeah, it's
So
really
you don't have a
good.
CPU cooler or anything, right?
I have a CPU cooler. The
Okay.
heatsink, right? Is on there, and that's a Nocturo.
Gotcha.
And I got a upgraded fan of those because the one was smaller, and I got a bigger one with a thicker fan, so it adds to the cooling of it. But it's pretty good. It's small. It's so quiet. It's sexy as hell. So it was doing great. And then I realized, I was like, I need more space, because naturally every video we make is like 3 gigs, right? I have an external 5 terabyte, but I wanted to get some more. Here's the other thing. I got a 500 gigabyte space stick, like a RAM stick. It's like yay big, and it goes onto the motherboard, right? You're used to these hard drives, these giant hard drives that you plug in. These things are called M.2 drives, and they just slide right into the motherboard, and it's faster than an SSD drive, right? Which is the non-hard drives, the smaller ones. So it's even quicker. It's 500 gigabytes, but I put in another like hybrid 500 gigabyte drive. And when I was doing that, I hooked up the SATA cable to the power supply, and then I hooked up my 3 terabyte regular hard drive to the power supply, and everything shut down. So, and I was like, why?
Did you freak out?
Oh my, you have no idea, because like, here's the thing, when you're, and I'm trying to make this extremely long story short because I don't want it to be boring, but when you're building a computer, there's like key things that you need to remember, or you can destroy everything that you spent. And I spent about $1,800 on this thing, which it's worth. If you go on to like iBuyPower, you could probably spend $3,000 for what I have.
Oh yeah,
but because you're building it yourself, it's cheaper, right? But here's the thing: you can never have static electricity on you, right? So if you're walking on carpet, or if you have a static shock and you touch anything like the motherboard or the power, it could just immediately die, and then you're done. So they tell you to wear like a special wristband that's connected to metal to keep you grounded. So you always have to be grounded. The other thing you have to remember is when you're putting the chip, the i7 chip that you have, Ian, when you put it in, you have to put it in very, very carefully, because there's like a ton, like dozens of little pins, and they have to align. And if one,
and the thing is, they fit equally on every separate part. So you got to make sure that the little triangles match up with the little triangle.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that, because otherwise it'll fit in there perfectly every time, but it won't work if you don't do it a certain way. So it's got 4 different ways it can work, but only one's the right way.
So you got to put that in correct. That's right, Steve. So you got to put that in correct, and then on top of that, you got to put the correct amount of like goop, this little gel on top of it for the heat sink to stand on.
Oh,
and that helps like keep it nice and cool. If you put too much, it could like overload the computer. If you put too little, it could overheat it. And I put a little bit, like I put some, and that dangled on. I was like, oh fuck. So when this happened, I was like, what happened? Like, is it the power supply? Is it the motherboard? Did I like static shock it by accident? Because I had the whole thing open. I was freaking out because I was like, I have 30 days to return something to see if it's their fault or if it's my fault. And then I have that 30 days to buy something. Like, do I spend another $500? Like, what do I do? So I was diagnosing this thing like crazy. I determined that I think it was the power supply, and I like went on, like I had to go online. You had to do a paperclip test, which is like put a paperclip into like physical pins, like you're putting it into an outlet, like turn it on. But this power supply doesn't have a turn on mode because it's like super, super tiny. So there's all this shit that was happening that I had to do in like order of a couple days. Ended up sending it back. Had to wait like 3 weeks. Ergo, while we were like on this like little hiatus, found out that it was their fault, and they sent me a new one. Hooked it up, good to go. But I was freaking out, and like it was such a shame that like it was one of my first times truly building this on my own. Because the last time I had some friends like that, I had this experience. Because like now I'm just shell shocked. I'm so worried. So, bottom line is, 3 weeks of my life, no computer, freaked out about ever building it again. Sucked because I could have ended up having to spend thousands of money again on new parts. cheese situation. Right. So that was my computer story. That is the reason why I'm on hiatus.
So would you build another computer?
I'm getting a little bit more and more confident, but like seriously at the time I was like, I don't think I should ever do this again. Because it's just like so scary if something like that were to happen.
Well, I'll tell you this. My brother, he's built all of his computers, and he says that the Steve-O versus Trash Man won.
My son's looking at me.
My brother built his own computers, and he says there's no joy no comparable joy when you actually turn it on and everything turns on.
It's true.
And he's like, the screen pops up. He's like, it's awesome. He's like, I built that, And I wanted to do it before I bought this one. I was looking into doing it, and exactly what you just said, Clay. Hearing all those horror stories and everything, I'm like, I am not going to dump a bunch of money, fuck it all up, and then eventually just go buy one. So
yeah,
I built my custom one on HP. Actually got some really good like discounts and coupons and stuff. But it has a liquid cool, all that kind of stuff. Because you can hear it sometimes, like you hear it kind of running.
Cool.
But it's a good computer. I like it. I've had it for 5 years now, and
the lights flicker every time I turn it on.
Exactly.
So the 5 years is like when it starts to get shaky for me, because that's when stuff gets old. And you need to upgrade. Course.
Well, the problem is right now what I'm having is like my speakers. It's weird. Like if I don't have anything playing, you can hear this little wump, 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 wump. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, who knows?
Something's about to go.
But I'll tell you this, like as computers, like as the years go by, it gets simpler and simpler and simpler to build one because there's less and less like extra parts. Like I didn't have any case fans to have to worry about, so that's less wires. Like it was really cool. And I know Steve-O, you built a computer recently too, but I don't know if you have an interesting computer story.
Yeah, I actually do, Bob.
Yeah. Once again, Steve, resident local computer builder. My name's not Bob. Okay, it's Clayton.
I'm just talking about that loud sound you're hearing right now.
Right. Mm-hmm. Garbage truck guy, Saturday. Nothing like good Saturday morning garbage truck.
It's the second time already. I don't know how.
Yeah, I know. Within seconds.
Doesn't it change? How come? Okay, first of all, why isn't it during the week? Or is that only in the summer?
No, Wednesday. They come Wednesday and Saturdays.
Okay, so in the summer I know that they go to 2 days. Or is it 3 days that they... Because they up it a day.
They do?
Not here. No? Here it's just 2 days a week. Mine's on Monday and Thursdays.
Man, maybe that's in New Jersey where they up it. They actually up it a day in New Jersey in the summer because there's just a lot of stuff going on in trash.
Just a lot of trash out there.
Yeah, a lot of trash in New Jersey. Dirty Jersey.
Well, my computer's pretty simple. It doesn't have a graphics card. It's got the onboard Intel chip HD card, because you know how like a lot of like the Intels have like an onboard kind of like graphics card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just have that for now. The one graphics card you guys got for me, actually having the other computer because I wanted to leave that computer most intactly because for my little girl, because she's been wanting like a gaming computer forever and she loves it, absolutely loves it. She like downloads Terra and everything like that. So
I have an extra graphics card that I was selling. I could give you if you'd like.
If you want. I'll throw you some money for it if you want.
No, I just need your address.
All right, I'll send. Okay, sweet. I'll take it because then I can play Fallout.
Well,
I still can't play Fallout because I've been trying to play Fallout forever. So like,
we'll have to see if it's compatible, and then we'll have to see if you can actually
but
there are from work like a game company's work computers, so we'll see. Okay. We'll look into it.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
Anyways, yeah. So I got that because I mainly just play League, and he said that it might be able to run Fallout. It does run it, but it's kind of like just chugging a little bit. So it's not like the best. But it is great for streaming right now because I got the i5 Q6600. It's like I don't know what gen it is, but I think it's 6th gen or something like that.
Yeah, they're at like 6700.
Yeah, it's like the best. It's like, yeah, the best gen or something right now. I've got the liquid cooling on it. Like, my friend, like, what happened when I built the computer, basically, is it didn't turn on at first. It said that it needed more power. It said, so all I had to do was just simply unplug it from the 3-pin slot to a 4-pin slot, even though the extra pin isn't going in the 3-pin slot. You know what I mean?
That's ridiculous.
And all because of that, it didn't turn on. So I turned it on, and then all of a sudden, it just started. Remember, I was telling you guys it was freezing.
Mm-hmm.
So for 3 weeks, the guy was like, my friend was like, the one that talked to you, Clay.
Yeah.
Was like, all right, maybe it turns out it's your graphics card. Maybe it's trying to recognize something else, your drivers. So we did this, did that, a bunch of stuff like that. we ran the computer for an hour. It's just this little program that runs the computer for an hour at the full speeds
Yeah.
to see if it's overheating, right?
Firmware?
So we did that. Yeah, and I ran for an hour, and like he was looking at because I sent him my specs, and he's like, "Holy crap, dude!" He's like, "You're running at 100%, and your computer's not even getting over 40 degrees. Like, it's like,
That's awesome.
it's like." He's like, "It's really cool." But anyways, so that wasn't it. Keep going on. It all turns out that I just had to do a freaking simple BIOS update on my motherboard. That's why the computer was freezing up.
So like, not only do people have to worry about drivers and like software updates, but now you have to start working about like physical hardware updates. Like,
yeah,
it's
motherboard.
insane.
It was just the motherboard update. And he said that's a really rare case. He's like, it must have been written into the firmware that you need an update, otherwise it's gonna mess up with your hard. He's like, that's got to be such a minute thing that's crazy. He's like, never even heard of it before, and he's been doing this for like 10 years. So it's like,
yeah, there's just so many things that can go wrong. So and you have to sit there and try to troubleshoot that. That's why I was just like, screw it. I'm just gonna buy it. I had a warranty on the computer, and I mean, I might end up building one later on because I was really interested in doing it.
It feels like a modern day
I can help you out with
hobby for someone who like building cars. I like to build computers and know how to do it is fun.
Well, I mean, honestly, I used to like swap out things, and I've dealt with computers, but I haven't done that in what 8-9 years now. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm not like even close to knowing half the shit out there.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna need an upgrade. I was thinking about a year, but it runs everything just fine right now. So the one weird thing. Go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah, but you don't really play like that's what I'm saying. You don't really play like hard games on your League's not really like a graphics intensive game, pretty much. So
yeah, I just get it on PlayStation now. So
yeah.
All right,
Battlefield
guys.
1.
We're going to get ready for our next topic. Our next topic
Cool.
is going to be on the 2016 election, so stay with us and check the next video.
Yeah.
Well, it is the end of October. I'd hope it would be starting to get lower
Yeah.
temperature.
This is probably the only cold front.
Yeah.
Like the entire year. So.
It's ridiculous. Well, it's good to have you back. And last, but certainly not least, the artist formerly known as the Enigma. We have the wild card, Ian Kane.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up,
It's good
Ian?
to be back.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Jesus.
I didn't know we were starting.
Wow. Wow.
Because we all just went like, what?
All right, let's try this one more time. Ladies and
That's a good
gentlemen.
opening.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right.
Can I start?
Yes, you
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and
Get this started.
Titties
ladies and
balls.
gentlemen. Well, that just happened. We got some rust. We're gonna brush this off. It's been 3 weeks. Everyone in between, welcome to the Everything and Nothing Show. I'm just one of your hosts with the Moses, Clayton Kisko, and I'm accompanied, of course, by the rest of the Maelstrom Gamers. With us on this podcast, we have the bad boy, Steven Landis. What you gonna do? Something for you. Yeah, so if it goes above 10 seconds, we get
That wasn't
sued
10 seconds.
and our house
That
gets taken
literally-
from us. No, that was really good. But
was
I found out that
actually
it is 10 seconds.
5 seconds.
That's really good.
9. It wasn't even 9 seconds, actually.
Steve, you're looking good. It looks wonderful over wherever you're from, Hurricane Land.
Yep, beautiful hurricane.
Yeah, it looks terrifying.
It's chilly outside. It's like 80.